My attention is being brought to that soul that we were working with earlier today,
Yes.
who had answered a call for the highest concentrations of truth, integrity, and altruism, but who was defining altruism in such a way that didn't fit our criteria.
That's true.
So he met the specs the way he was defining the word altruism. He had a lot of that vibration.
That's true, that he was defining as altruism.
But it didn't meet the definition that we were using for altruism,
That's
which
true,
is
not
someone
even
who
close.
puts the needs of the greater good ahead of their own needs.
That's true. And even if you asked that presence, do you put the needs of the greater good ahead of your own needs? He would say no.
But I'm altruistic.
Very altruistic, and I really, really am.
Yes,
That's
and
true.
he referred to the smaller subatomic presences as vermin.
That's true.
So he was clearly the wrong person for the job, but
That's
had
true.
answered the call the way he was defining it.
That's true.
So there might be something definitional going on here like that.
That's true.
Some presences that have been called to basic training, because these knees seem to represent basic training.
That's
those
true.
series of dimensions that we are calling basic training. So there are presences there who have defined themselves as a match for that project.
That's true.
But not the way we're using those words.
That feels true. Like a lot of presences who define themselves as a match for that project.
Maybe almost everybody who's there right
Maybe
now.
almost all of them. That's true. And they're defining the project itself differently.
Well, it's possible they're defining the project as for them to learn, because we're talking about training. But the project is actually to turn around and help someone.
That's true.
To help those smaller than ourselves. And if you look at their attitudes when we're starting to talk about turning around and helping someone, they're saying, "What?
Whoa,
No.
that's true.
I'm here to be taught. I'm here to be fed like a baby."
That's true.
All right, we can see our error.
Yeah, I can see that I didn't define that
tightly. We didn't take away all the excuses.
That's
we can define it more
true.
tightly. This is a project of removing lies and untruths from the smaller subatomic, from helping the layers smaller than ourselves.
That's true.
Being part of creating a divine miracle for those smaller than ourselves.
That's true.
Turning around and helping the smaller subatomic. It's a relative word. There's always someone smaller than we are.
That's true.
Just as there's always someone larger than we are.
That's true.
And we are here in a project of community to help the smaller levels, the levels smaller than the levels we're currently occupying. Period. That's
true. And now lots of presences at the basic training levels are saying, "Oh, well, I don't want to do that."
I hear ruder words than that.
That's true. I might have been cleaning it up a little bit for consumption. That's true. Yeah, absolutely not. The feeling is absolutely not, no.
Yeah, absolutely
not.
not.
That's
Okay,
true.
well then this isn't your right place.
Right place. And
Okay,
we can
so
bifurcate.
Yeah.
For all those who intend to turn around and help somebody, maybe.
Yes. To search for true
central access, and all others flung away. For all those who intend to turn around and help somebody.
And who have been, because
And
what
who
do we
have
intend to
been.
do is what we're doing.
Already doing it.
That's
That is
right.
true.
If they haven't been turning around and helping someone, they don't intend to. All those who have actually been turning around and helping smaller dimensions.
That's true. The central axis, the search for truth pillar. All others flung away.
Well, and somebody says, what if we're taking actions that we think should help and it isn't actually helpful?
That's a good
That's
question.
a good point, because I
That's
goof
actually
all the
true.
time.
I mess up all the time, and sometimes I think I'm being very, very helpful by doing this.
And then discover, to my horror,
that I just mess that up so
Right.
completely.
Those who are taking actions that they believe will be helpful. How about that?
That's true. all those who are taking actions that they believe will be helpful to the smaller subatomic.
Wow, well, that
but
opened
then
up the
people
door
say,
to
I
something.
believe.
That's
true. That
so
was surprisingly
disgusting
gross.
what just happened.
That's true.
Well,
Wow, people
how
just straight up lying.
Yeah, they were straight up lying.
Oh, wow.
But actions either improve the well-being of the smaller subatomic or diminish the well-being of the smaller subatomic.
That's true.
And if we're tempted to say that the actions are neutral, then we're just not looking precisely enough. We're being sloppy in our definitions.
That's true.
So we can, how about this, bifurcate for actions that have presences who are taking actions that actually are helpful, and make an exception where you can play your grace.
That is true.
Because if we think something should be helpful and it isn't, and we have enough grace involved, then we'll pass that test.
That's true. Bifurcating for all presences who are taking action
that actually improves the well-being
of the smaller subatomic.
Defined as levels smaller than their own dimension of origin.
That's true. To the search for truth's central axis, and all others flung away.
And helpful is something that raises the vibrations. Hurtful is something that lowers the vibrations. The overall vibrations.
That's true.
I notice how I'm curious to see whether or not I pass this test.
That's true. I actually don't know for sure.
This is a good moment. Let's see. Let's just see. Don't
That's
try
true.
and skew the result.
That's true.
Just see, are we moved closer to the center or do we get flung away? We could do it slowly.
That's true.
So as to give presences time to adjust. How about that?
That's true.
And my attention is brought to the analyst who was just drawing up truth bubbles, little factoids, out of the smaller subatomic, and he was doing it out of his own curiosity, but it was very helpful.
That's true.
That's an example of someone who was helping.
That's true.
Well, and there's this whole business about dimension of origin. Maybe we should define it as the dimension that the presence most considers home, because that might not be their dimension of origin per se.
That's true.
But the dimension in which they have become most comfortable.
That's true.
Their home-based dimension.
Yes.
So to help dimensions that are smaller than one's home-based dimension, that is the quality that we're looking for.
That's true. Actively help.
Actively helping.
It's very quiet right now.
Yes, very peaceful.
That's true. And there's still more debris coming up from that basic training level. Pumping it up, looking
I see that we probably would benefit by changing the label of that dimension.
That is true. Well,
basic service.
Maybe basic
starting
surface.
What they're showing me is habitat for humanity, and how
That's
if you
true.
want to learn basic construction skills, the best thing to do is just go volunteer for Habitat for Humanity,
That's
build a
true.
house for somebody else, you'll learn a lot.
That's true.
And that's what basic training is supposed to be like.
Yes, that's true.
Like Habitat for Humanity, where people come, be of service to the smaller subatomic, and in the process learn a lot.
That's true.
But it has to have that service project label.
That's true.
Or people
Could
will
get
sit
selfish.
down and say, well, I'm here now in a habitat for integrity, and I shall just eat some popcorn while I'm here.
That's true.
And what we're really doing, it's a service project. All right, what now in order to upgrade the standards of integrity to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan? How to heal the root causes of these knee issues and whatever they represent in such a way as to upgrade the standards of integrity to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan. Maybe all those presences that are clustered in those dimensions should be even smaller in the smaller subatomic. Maybe we should move them down deeper into the subatomic, into the smaller levels.
That could
just
be.
kind of like a toothpaste tube
That's
kind
true.
of maneuver.
Compress. Starting to feel like a good direction. Merging more deeply, because it's self-care. We're all members of the Search for Truth pillar. It's like reallocation of soul energy.
Yes.
Squeezing smaller, smaller, smaller. Yeah, I started squeezing way too low.
Mm-hmm.
Way too low. Go high up. And now start to toothpaste tube squeeze down. Smaller, 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 smaller. Reallocating the soul energy. Smaller, smaller, smaller. All the way down the Search for Truth pillar. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. I see that I just started squeezing right above the level that the knees represent. Ooh, which really misses the point of it if you just start in the wrong place. Squeezing smaller and now going back up, higher, reaching up, reaching way up the pillar and now compressing in.
I see it looks like our Luce waving.
I do see our Luce waving.
Well,
That is true. What's going on? What's going on? What our Luce is saying feels true, and like the intention is to help, and like it's something that he has noticed, or something that he has seen, or something he has observed.
And it's really unfortunate, but it's still true.
Still true. And it's kind of sad, and it's kind of somber. He thinks that something isn't going to come together.
It's just not going to happen in time. Well, Luce, I think that's the point. I think that that's why a collective restart is what's called for, is that people aren't changing their thinking.
That's true.
I'm missing his point.
Yeah,
he's saying,
I am.
He's saying that's not it.
That's not the point.
What did Luce mean by it's not coming together in time? Well, the biggest picture is for him to get out of the levels of contamination into a clear zone.
That's true.
And see if there's any zone that he can reach while staying in contact with these smaller levels.
Yes, that's true.
That have the ability and the willingness or the resolve or the intention, some level of interest.
That's true.
To do the right thing, to manifest the divine plan, to be a consistent source of significantly higher vibrations. In other words, he's looking for God.
That's true. So what isn't going to come together in time?
Maybe what he's saying is there's another portal closing.
That could be what that feeling is.
He can either stay below it or go above it.
That could be what this feeling is.
So just go up,
go up,
go up,
get
above it. You've got to get above it. You've got to stay above. Don't get trapped below a portal. Go, get up.
That's true. Go.
Go.
I don't hear him.
No, and I heard a sound of something slamming shut.
That's true.
Okay. It's better that he's on the other side.
That's true.
All right. Well, looks like it's up to us then.
Okie dokie.
All right.